If you didn't know, not only am I a relationship expert and a licensed clinical professional counselor, but I'm also a purple belt in Jiu Jitsu. I've been training Jiu Jitsu for 9 years, and over the years, I've met so many interesting people. And recently, I've been asked to have some mat chats with some black belts, other people that I train with that want to talk about Jiu Jitsu and relationships. And recently, I got the opportunity to interview the Anthony Byrd. And so, this interview is something that is so special to me. It was really something that I did selfishly, but I wanted to share it with the world. So, I want you to take a peek and see the questions that I have about women in jiu-jitsu. And I hope that this is something that inspires you to either step onto the mat, or for the women who are already training, I hope this inspires you to keep going. All right, stay tuned. But just tell me your name, your rank, where you're currently training.
Okay, name is Anthony Byrd. Everybody knows me as Tony or Capital, which means leader,
That's how you say
captain, Capital, yes.
it. Okay,
I have been training jiu-jitsu for, it'll be 16 years in September.
that's a long time.
Yes. I know because my son his birthday's in March, and I started 6 months before he was born. So I know roughly when it was. So it'll be 16 years in September.
And what got you into jiu-jitsu specifically?
Two different things.
Okay.
The main one was I work in law enforcement. And as part of the job, you go to South Carolina for training for X number of weeks. I came back to my district and I told the chief, like, man, I really want to be an officer safety instructor. He said, okay. So then they sent me back for 2 weeks for your training. And let me say, when you go there for the first time for your initial training, all the instructors were like enthusiastic. They knew what they were talking about, and it just drew me in. Like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So when I went there for the 2 weeks for your certification, Gino, he was the branch chief of the whole safety part. You have the firearms and officer safety, DT.
Okay.
And he said you should add another tool to your tool belt just for your own training. So because some of it's like one of my favorite quotes is, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your level of training. So if you only have one set of skills, that's all you're going to do.
Yeah.
And so they mentioned adding a tool, and mine was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay. So that was why I started Jiu-Jitsu.
That's awesome.
And to even add to that, like, I'm not a quitter. So when I signed up, I thought, okay, to receive your black belt normally takes about 10 years. So I thought, okay, I'll just go to brown belt.
Okay.
I never even thought black belt at the time. I thought, okay, a good 7, 8 years, maybe receive my brown belt, and then I'll do something else. But I just kept going.
You know, that's interesting you said that, because when I started jiu-jitsu, so it's been 9 years for me.
Okay, congrats.
And thank you. And I did not have a goal of getting a black belt either. I just started one, for strength. So I wanted something I can do that would strengthen my mind, body, and spirit. And I love martial arts. And so I learned about jiu-jitsu a few years prior. I'm like, I'll give it a try. And I got addicted the first day. But I never had a goal of getting a black belt for some reason. But now that I've reached purple belt, I might as well keep going, right?
There's no stopping.
One day, hopefully in time, before I turn 55, that's the goal, to get my black belt. So yeah,
I would say just enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
For me, I chased the blue belt. Like, I got to get my blue belt. But I have a wrestling background. So receiving my blue belt within a year was fine.
That's amazing. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So that was fantastic. And I would say I hit the blue belt blues, just kind of trying to feel like I wasn't progressing. Received my purple belt. And at a certain point, I felt myself trying to chase the brown belt. And the jiu-jitsu gods humbled me. I had always placed in every jiu-jitsu tournament. And I was like, okay, man, if I win this tournament, win the next one, I'll probably get my brown belt. Went to the tournament, lost first round. Fine. So then I did the Pans in California at the time.
You remember the year?
What's that?
You remember the year?
I was a purple belt at the time. So you're talking probably maybe 2014, something like that. Okay. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
And I thought, again, I get gold, I'll come back and get my brown belt. I have asthma, and it's more during the spring. It's in the pants was in the spring. So I get to California and I started wheezing. And I was like, dang. So I was taking my Zyrtec, using my inhaler, and not making excuses, but ended up having an asthma attack while I was out there.
Wow.
At the tournament. So I win my first match. And you know, in jiu-jitsu, you compete, and then like the next 10 minutes, you have your next matchup. My heart was just pumping, and I was on the ground, just like laying there, like, man, should I compete? Should I not? Yeah. It took about 8 minutes for my heart to just regulate, that I can breathe. And I went out there and I lost. And again, another tournament I went to, I did not place. I fly back home. The kid's like, "Where's your medal at, Dad?" I was like, "I didn't place." "Oh, Dad, you're joking, man. Where's your belt? Well, I mean, where's your medal at?" I'm like, I didn't place. But I felt like it was jiu-jitsu guys just saying, "No, I'm gonna humble you real quick." And then after that, I just started enjoying the journey. I wasn't chasing anything. I was competing when I wanted to compete, but I was done chasing stuff.
So being humbled helped you enjoy it.
Yes.
That's good.
Just stop chasing it.
Yeah.
Because it's
like sit down.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So just enjoy the journey.
Can I go back to what you were talking about with the breathing, like trying to regulate yourself? Do you remember in that moment what it took for you to regulate your mind while you were competing, having an asthma attack? Your body's unregulated. What did you have to do?
First was a mental game. You didn't fly out to California to quit. That was one. Yeah. And then it was just taking time to have deep breaths and exhale. But when you have that attack, like I can say like it's like you're breathing fire. Like everything's just hot. Like so just really just tried to calm myself down and drink water. And then once my heart rate went down, I would take a deep breath. As long as I could, and then I would exhale. Because when you are having an asthma attack, you really can't fill your lungs up. Like it's just kind of short, and you felt like you're gonna cough or something like that. And just kind of got to a point where I could breathe okay. I knew I didn't have the same energy, the same stamina for my next match, but I'm out here. Why not compete? Yeah. And the part that bothers me, and I can say the guy who won it probably would have beat me, but I should have taken second or third. That's just the part of me. It's like, if I was just 100%, but hey, it wasn't meant for me to place that day.
Wow. What a story. All right, well, you ready for these questions?
Yes, go ahead, fire off.
So these are mostly about women in jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to pick your brain, get your perspective. The first question is, what is a boundary a woman has set with you on the mats that change how you train with women going forward?
I don't think that they have set the boundary.
Okay.
It is, I think, having daughters. I kind of watch how I roll, and I'm real respectful when I do roll with female grapplers. Okay. I don't avoid them. Like some guys, they don't want to roll with any females. Luckily, where I started off training was the girls that joined play soccer or some other martial arts. They're already pretty physical. So I got used to their style. So I didn't really have to hold back. And then some females, I can tell they're not used to guys. And so I may kind of avoid them. But no one's ever said, hey, I don't want to roll with you. I think talking to females, they want to be just like the guys too. And if you inadvertently hit their breast, they're like, don't freak out. And I think it's the same as when we get hit in the groin. A lot of girls are like, oh, I'm sorry. And we're like, just keep rolling. Yeah. So talking to more female grapplers, you understand, like, we're not purposely trying to like frame and touch you, but if something happens, then just like you with your male counterpart, you just keep on rolling. Yeah. So I think that's just been mine. Mine was the first females were more fighters and
so they set
rough
the
and
tone
tough.
For you.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had a woman that you trained with that was reluctant to train with you? because you're a man or you're a strong man?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I know where I'm at now. I am viewed as safe because I'm going to flow and I'm going to meet them where they are.
Absolutely. I've experienced that with
Yes.
you, so thank you for that. Yeah.
And I don't have the ego that I don't want to get submitted by a female. Because I can acknowledge I was a white belt training with the female who was a blue belt. And she got me in the move. I remember using my man strength to get out of the move. And I thought back like, you know what, you probably should have not went there and just let the move happen. Okay. But I can look at experience and just say, hey, you know what? Don't use your man strength. Suck it up. If she gets you in the arm bar, she got you in the arm bar. So I've used that going forward. Okay. But I'm safe. I'm not going to hurt anyone. I'm going to flow and I'm going to let them work.
So that leads me into a different question that I had on the list. Okay. But what do you think most men get wrong when they roll with women?
Did they get wrong? That they want to be viewed as a training partner. And as I mentioned, don't freak out if you inadvertently touch them. But I also understand they don't want the guys to use their strength. They get it wrong where they have the ego where they don't want to be submitted by anybody, and that includes women. So I'm going to treat them just like they're one of the guys. But they don't understand that we do have a certain strength difference.
Absolutely.
So even if we're the same weight, guys have to tone it down.
Absolutely. And
I think it's the lower belts that probably do more damage to female grapplers.
Absolutely.
Older grapplers in general because they utilize a lot of strength because all they have. And so somebody like he was a purple belt may dominate this younger guy, and then his ego kicks in and only has strength. He's going to just like power out of stuff. So it is treat you all the same, but understand there is a difference in the strength.
I want to thank you for saying that, treating us the same, because I think my experience, and I've talked to other women in jiu-jitsu where we don't get hard rounds with other men because there are some men that they're aware that they do need to pull back their strength, right? They need to use their technique, but some don't know how to do that at times. But I think also we need the intensity to make it more real life situations. So a lot of women are training jiu-jitsu for self-defense.
Yes.
But if we never get into a position where we really have to defend ourselves and we're in a safe environment to learn how to do that, then we're missing why we even started training jiu-jitsu in the first place.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate enough going from different gyms and meeting different people. I did a seminar down at the University of Miami with my best friend, Damon Ingram. He was lieutenant. He was over their ROTC program. And so he had me come in and show some moves. And he was like, yeah, man, this one girl, she was sexually assaulted. Can you show her some stuff? It's me taking information like, okay, women that walk in the door, some of them may have been assaulted. So watch how they train, watch how the guys train with them. And if they are uncomfortable in certain positions, like having a guy in the guard, take note of that, bank it, and then make sure they have another female partner or somebody that they start to trust. So it's just absorbing everything and then utilizing it in that space.
So do you, keeping that in mind, do you believe that there is a need for women's only classes?
100%.
Tell me, why is that important to you?
It's a safe space for women. Some women have a hard, and I would even say men, but some women have a hard time just walking into a gym that's dominated by a lot of men. All they see are males. And then they may see the males going hard, so now they're intimidated. But when you have a women's only session, having fun, less egos, they're learning technique with their body style and their strength. Because I know I'm a great instructor wrestling and jiu-jitsu, but I'm not a female. I may use more strength that's needed and know it or unknowingly knowing it. And you all, and honestly, watch a lot of female grapplers, they're very technical, very smooth because they don't use the strength that we use. So I think it's important because it is, you all can sharpen your tools with other females. And then there's different body styles. And what works for you may not work for me. But with other women, I feel like you guys are learning together and you're learning the techniques even better.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm running into, I think, in the past year or two is I recognize that. I've recognized it for myself and I've seen it for other women. But there are some women that just refuse to go to an all-women's class because they want to train with men for different reasons, right? But they don't necessarily realize what they're missing by having a all-women's room.
Yes.
Like they need that space, you know, to talk jiu-jitsu in a different way. Like the way that I teach other women is not how I'm going to teach a man, right? The words I use, the, you know, pop your chest out, things like that. I will not say the same things to a guy, but I can say it in a women's class.
And those are things that we don't understand. And
Yes.
you all understand that.
Yeah.
So again, you all need your own
It's
space.
a special space.
At different times,
sure.
yes. And it could even be just maybe once a month or once a week. Because I do know some female grapplers, they do want to train with some men because unless you're like a women's only that has a lot of competition training, like girls that want to train competitions, they feel like there's more guys to train that portion versus girls who just trying to like learn the regular techniques and stuff.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
All right. So let me rewind a little bit. So you mentioned you have daughters.
Yes.
How many?
3.
How old are they?
31, 25, and 18.
Okay. So if your daughter or sister or any female friend you have walked into a jiu-jitsu gym for the first time, what would you want to see in the first 5 minutes to know that she's safe? So that the gym is safe for her.
Not too much of a protective dad. I would want to walk in with them.
Okay. What are you looking for? You're scanning this room. You're scanning the environment for her. Because she doesn't know what to expect. She doesn't know what to look out for, right? What are you looking for?
Are there any females in the class? Okay. How does the instructor treat female students? I would like to ask, and I would say, hey, ask them if they have any kids classes, any women's classes. How often are the women's classes? Are they separate? Are they the same time as the men? And then ask how many ranked females there are.
Okay.
And get an idea of how many that they are, and if there are any female instructors too.
Okay. And you mentioned having a question about, is the women's class at the same time as men's class, or I don't know what you would call it, co-ed? Why is that important to know?
To see are they inclusive at different times or keep them separate? Because honestly, I'm starting to hear more about, even when classes are the exact same, they have the females on one side and the males on the other side, which is fine. But then when it comes to the rolling portion, there's some women that do want to, I would say, roll kind of competition training with the guys, but they can't because they're over on one side. So it's really just to see the dynamic.
I never thought about that before until you just said that. Maybe because I've never experienced it. I've never seen that or have heard anyone talk about that. But
I am hearing it more and more. And I would say after I left my former gym and I've been talking to other females in other gyms, I'm hearing more of that conversation.
Okay. I'm going to store that. I'll come back to it.
And I would also like to know
what
about their promotions in that system too. But
yes, we're gonna talk about that. Yes, hold that.
Okay.
Real quick. So there's a lot of noise, or there has been in the past few months, of women coming out and expressing that they've been abused or talked to inappropriately or touched inappropriately by coaches or other training partners. And I know it's happening all over the world, but it's a really hot topic and it's a sensitive topic. But I think if we allow that topic to die down, then nothing's ever going to change. So I do want to bring that up today.
Yes.
So the question for you is, have you ever witnessed a woman or any female student be talked down to or belittled in the gym? And if you did you ever feel the need that you needed to speak up?
Um, okay, how can I say this? I have been in a space where I would say everybody could catch it, not just a female.
Okay.
So I've seen it where I felt the instructor was pretty disrespectful to that person. Yes.
Was it male or female? Can you say that? Because this is more
Both?
to women's experience.
Yeah. I would have to say I don't believe I had witnessed that in a session. I couldn't have, because I would have said something in the moment.
You would say something, and I believe that. I believe that to be true.
For sure.
So I know I've experienced some things in the gym personally that I won't talk about today. But one thing that I've sat with it for a little bit, and I recognized that I didn't speak up for different reasons.
Uh-huh.
And I also know that people saw what happened because it was in just open training session. So I know that there are witnesses. I know that people saw the energy that was exchanged.
Uh-huh.
And I always question, why didn't anyone say anything? Why didn't anyone defend me? Or why didn't anyone pull me to the side to make sure that I was okay, right? And so there are so many conversations that need to be had in the gym by higher ranked instructors or the owner, where women are just never afforded that conversation. And we won't speak up because we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to be blamed for things or made uncomfortable where we don't want to train there anymore. So we just suck it up and go quiet. But I've always wondered if that is a space where women are taught to learn to protect themselves. Why is it that there are men in the gym that don't protect us? And you don't have to answer that, but you can sit with that.
It's hard to say, because maybe they feel the instructor wouldn't be receptive to the conversation. Maybe they don't want to rock the boat. I know there's some people that, oh, I'm not gonna say anything, man. And I get it from a woman's perspective. I will say this. I had a conversation with someone regarding what I thought was inappropriate behavior. And we talked behind closed doors. And I think if you see something, you should say something to that person. And it's up to that person for them to correct or address whatever behavior it was. And I'm just talking broadly, is that there's many times where, unfortunately, you're the victim, but they play the victim as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And they put it on you all. What did you do? They make you feel like you're the issue.
Yes.
Where it's similar to, I feel like, women being raped. When you address it, then you must have done something. How are you dressed? Because it could be like, okay, it's no gi. Maybe you're walking around in like your tight pants. That doesn't mean disrespect me.
Absolutely.
So I've seen it where people just don't say anything. And I've been informed that people have said something to said party and they didn't do what they should have done.
The thing that always comes up for me is like, if it was any other setting, so if it was at work, there are harassment policies. There's law about that. But when it comes to jiu-jitsu, it doesn't seem to apply the same, right? And so nothing ever happens. And if it does happen, typically what I've seen behind the scenes is that the woman is either asked to leave or she just stops training. So she loses jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
And whoever the male is, and I'm just saying stereotypically, it's the male that's the abuser.
Uh-huh.
I know that's not the same in all cases, but he continues to train, and that's his home. He never has to leave.
Yes.
And she exits.
Normally,
it may not have any other place to go.
Normally, it is the female that does leave.
Yeah. So keeping that in mind, so do you have any insight or opinions about dating in jiu-jitsu?
I think the instructors need to be careful as far as dating, because you're in a power position. And so people are looking up to you for your skill, but depending on their needs, they may go to instructor for workout advice, relationship advice, financial advice. They look up at this instructor as their all-knowing.
Yeah.
So from that position, you can start almost taking advantage of the Google eyes of a female, where, oh man, he's a black belt, or he's, a brown belt. I really like him. He's showing me interest.
Yeah.
And then they can use that power to basically kind of manipulate them. Oh, you're getting pretty good. How about we train afterwards? So then it's the two of them together. And so so that's an example. I'm a black belt, you're a purple belt. So you want to train more. So, hey, why don't you come and train open mats with me before open mats on, say, Saturday or Sunday? Now we're together even more. And then people can be like more flirtatious, whatever it is. So I think it opens the door for that person to abuse them, because they're looking at this male as somebody that's very skilled in the art. So I feel like that's where it can be abused. I feel that the dating part is okay as long as you don't bring the drama to the gym too.
That's hard.
And hey, there's a couple that I know, I won't say any names, and I found out that they were dating. And I said, I'm cool with both of y'all. If y'all break up, I'm still cool with y'all. I'm not gonna choose one and the other. So you have that too, where normally if somebody breaks up, then maybe one of them don't show up because they broke up.
I have seen that several times.
So I think it's just tread lightly with that. Yeah. So I would say for myself, I am in a relationship with someone who trains jiu-jitsu, but we didn't necessarily train at the same time.
Okay.
And I think it worked out when it was supposed to. So now we can train together and everything is fine. But I know some people, like, everything started in the gym at the time when they met each other.
Yeah.
So it happened and they could be successful, like I would say in my situation. But I've seen it where things break up or they bring the drama in the gym, and now there's people fighting, arguing.
Yeah. So boundaries are needed, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
We need to talk about boundaries someday.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. So you've been training for 16 years.
Yes.
Which is a long time. And I know women in jiu-jitsu, although it's not necessarily new for us to be in that space, it is newer for us to be, I guess, welcomed into jiu-jitsu. And so with competitions, with women being in leadership in gyms, right? Even with, UFC, BJJ, like there are women on the card now. So it's amazing to see. So for you, I want you to go way back, okay? But what do you think has changed about how women are treated in jiu-jitsu since you started training?
I think more women have gotten involved in jiu-jitsu, and they're carving out their own space. Where before, so perfect example is in IBJJF, they have the Worlds. And normally they have the open class, and then so they do the open class separate, and they have the individual weight classes. On the final day of the competition, they have the people that are, I'll bring up the lady. Her name is Gabby Pisana.
Okay.
Dope competitor.
Yeah.
So she normally wins her ultra heavy at her weight, and they have her do the open class. So they normally do all the different weight classes, and they have the open class later on. Typically, they have the females go first, and they have the males go last. Recently, they had the males go first, and then Gabby and Sarah Galval went last.
Okay.
Before, they were not hyping up women as much.
Yeah.
And I would even say when Mackenzie Dern beat Gabby Garcia, it was huge because it was like a big weight difference, but they weren't showcased just like Gabby and Sarah Galval. So I think they're getting more attention. I think women's wrestling is probably helping it because that is the fastest growing sport right now.
That's awesome.
So I think that is the change. I feel like there's even more competitors. I think you've always had good female grapplers, but now the weight classes are pretty stacked. And then you have like Fiona Davis.
I love her.
Exactly. So I think their names are getting out there. They're competing more. Now I'm not sure like how the money is, but I'm sure it's probably getting close to what the males are receiving. So I think it's a change in finances and showcasing their skills more.
Okay. So I don't know if you actually said this, but maybe I heard a little piece of it, and I believe this is true because it's true in history that women in jiu-jitsu have had to pave their own way. So we're just opening our own doors. We're not necessarily being asked to do certain things.
Yes.
So I'll give you an example personally. So at the old gym that I trained at, my jiu-jitsu bestie and I, we wanted to have a women's only class or to be women's instructors. And we were not asked to do that. We were told that that's a possibility if we get a big group of women that we could have a women's only class. That never happened until we just said, we're just going to do it.
Okay.
And so that's one thing that is, I don't know if that's the same cross country around the world, that women have to make their own space in jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
We're not being asked to be there.
Correct. I cannot think of one of the Gracie's daughters, but he didn't want her training jiu-jitsu. And she went ahead and did it and then became a world champion at some point in time. So even with that lineage of the Gracie jiu-jitsu, they didn't want their daughter doing jiu-jitsu. So it was probably more male dominated, but then women started carving their own niche and they're kicking butt.
That's what we do with everything. That's just what
That's why we should have shut you all out.
Exactly. Let's see. Okay, this is getting into the belt system.
Okay.
Do you think the belt system was ever built with women's training realities in mind?
No.
Okay.
I can say that 100%.
Tell me more.
And this is talking to more female grapplers as well.
Okay.
And a perfect example is, for example, say there's a guy who was a fireman. He works a whole lot, then he trains, he comes in, coach like, oh man, good to see you, haven't seen you in a while. Give him the props. A female may have the family dynamic, getting the kids' homework done, getting, making dinner, whatever it is, getting kids to their games and stuff, and then they show up, they don't get this, it's not viewed the same. Absolutely. It's just where you been? They haven't really been there. But it's not, and honestly, there's a lot of women, they work too, and then they come home with the kids, so they're extremely busy. Yeah. But I feel like that is overlooked by a lot of the instructors. I can't speak for all, but I know there is a difference.
Okay. So that's lifestyle you're talking about. What about size or strength?
If the instructor is paying attention and watching the skill level, they'll notice the technique. Because I don't expect you to have as much strength as someone your size and weight. So you're going to use way more technique than they are. But I think they need to watch how you handle yourself against males that's similar to your weight, and then other females too.
That's fair to say. So what if you have, because my experience, I'm very small. You know that. I'm probably the smallest person in every gym I walk into. But every training partner I have is typically much bigger than me. So don't ever judge me if you see me getting caught in side control, okay?
No, I won't.
I get
I won't
stuck
do
there
that.
all the time, although I try my best. But it's hard to, I don't know how you would measure that for someone that is very petite. But I've been told that I'm strong, right? but I'm very small and I don't have a lot of training partners that are close to my size at all. So what do you do with that?
Watch you teach techniques.
Okay.
And are you applying what you've been taught
Ah.
in the match? But then, okay, because I watch your videos
Okay.
when you teach, and it's to watch your techniques too. Is your technique spot on? I think it's hard for you to probably catch somebody in a tournament your weight, but then watch you in a competition too, with somebody close to your weight. Even if you have to drop down an age group, it'd be nice to like watch you. Yeah, I'm just saying this. So that's like one of your issues. So it is to watch how you perform and are you applying the moves too. But I would think for you, I would look at how you teach class.
And you have seen me teach.
I have seen you teach class.
And
I've been
terrified me. I was intimidated, I'm not going to lie, but I'm glad you were there because it was a great experience to see what did I know while I was under pressure. Like you didn't bring pressure to me intentionally, but I just felt it. I felt your eyes on me. So thank you for that.
So I'm never, and this is, I think, me being an instructor for as long as I have been. I've been an officer safety instructor for at least 16 years, maybe even 17 if I'm hitting 19 years at my job. So at least 17 years. So I understand being an instructor, I understand the pressure. I understand the pressure that I give other instructors being a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So when I'm even within my law enforcement stuff, I know I am viewed a certain way. And then I had the experience of training up in Kirksville, Illinois, and Missouri. And the gentleman who runs his school up there, I told him, because from work, I stay up there overnight at different times. So I would go to his gym, and I told him, don't feel intimidated by me. This is your gym. You run it the way you want to. So I hate that you felt that way, but I'm going to let you teach. And if you're like, hey, do you have any feedback? I'm going to give you feedback. Or if I feel like you've missed something, I know when you're like, break, people get water, then I might pull you to the side and say, hey, how about this? And that's when it's been my experience with the instructor may say, hey, Tony, go ahead and show this move. Or I'll give them that advice on what to do. So I'm never going to try to take over somebody else's class. I'm a guest. And I'm just there to watch and help if I can.
No, I was glad that you were there. Yeah.
So no, I'm never going to, like I said, I hate you feel that way, but I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I just want to train jits.
Yeah.
And maybe learn some stuff as well.
Okay. Well, hopefully I taught you something. We'll see. So that makes me think about the relationship that is needed between student and coach or student and professor, but also a student coach with their coach, right? So that's the level that I'm at right now, like that mid-level. So let me think of the right question to ask with that. Because I know that relationship is important, but you being the superior in that dynamic.
I'm a higher rank. I wouldn't even say superior. I'm a higher rank.
So being the higher rank, how do you see your role helping the student or the one that's a student coach as they're developing their skill, developing their mindset, and becoming a black belt?
A student first, and then student coach? Or
however you want to answer that.
So where I'm at now, as far as coaching, I can look at my wrestling time and then up until now.
Okay.
So when I say wrestle, I didn't wrestle till freshman year in high school. So people wrestle when they were younger. So I know how it feels to be a baby in a sport with zero experience and getting beat by certain people. So when that new student walks in with no wrestling, I at least know how it feels to be a beginner.
Yeah.
When I started jiu-jitsu, I had wrestling. So I understood the mechanics and how to take people down, which helped me getting the guard passing. So I understand my trajectory was different in jiu-jitsu than as when I wrestle. So I'm going to try to meet them where they are and help them as far as that new white belt walking through the door. Okay. And then with anybody else, if they want to compete, it is, I understand the mental part of competing as well.
Because that's the biggest piece of it, is the mental game.
Yes, and we can go back to that too.
Yeah.
And then as far as helping you, as far as being a student coach, it is, okay, you're going to have to try to find a balance of when you can train and then to coach. And then also understanding what you're good at, and you can easily teach those things to the students. Then what you're not as experienced at, then use the higher ups to show you the different techniques to show.
Okay. That helps. I'm going to take that in.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
And then the part about competing, it is to recognize everybody loses. You're in a sport, it's two different people. This isn't a team sport. You can't blame somebody for messing someone up. It is you and another person.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. Understand that part. If you win, fantastic. Win like you've been there before. If you lose, okay, how can we improve? Because really just stepping on the mats in a competition is huge for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of pressure, and we all put more pressure on that competition than other people. They're happy that we're out there. They're happy to see us win or lose, but we don't want to disappoint people.
And no one cares if you lose. They don't even remember it.
And nobody cares, man. So it is to have fun and then understand to learn the process. Losing is part of it.
Absolutely.
Losing is when you learn where your holes are. Because if I beat everybody doing almost the same move, why am I going to stop what I'm doing? But when somebody has a whole different game plan, I get beat, then, oh, hold up, what did they do to beat me?
Yeah.
So now I need to work on what my holes are or these other techniques that are coming out.
Yeah.
So it is to learn from your defeat. In jiu-jitsu, they say you win or you learn, and it's a learning process. The whole goal of jiu-jitsu is to learn. You never stop learning.
Yeah. That is so true. I'm learning right now.
Yeah. and just enjoy the process of competing too. That means eating better, getting enough sleep,
Yes.
maybe hitting some weight, some extra running, but enjoy that part and have fun at the competition.
Yeah.
It is what you do in the dark, let it go in the light. When the lights are on, show them what you've been working on. That's how I view it. And I know it's hard to get there, but if you try to compete like you practice, that takes the stress away. Because in practice, you can make a mistake in a bad position and you can recover.
Yeah.
In a match, you're scared to give a point. You're holding back. You're in a bad spot and you don't allow yourself to process, okay, I'm in a bad spot. I've been here before.
Yeah.
I'll recover. But I know it takes time. I understand. I've been doing grappling since I was 14. So I understand that part. But if people can get in their head, I'm going to act like this is practice, keep the same routine, they should hopefully do better. And everything slows down. Because in your last match, were things fast for you? Were things moving pretty fast or were they slow?
I won't say it felt slow or fast. It was more of, I didn't want her to get on top of me. She was a bigger girl. She was a little short, but she was a bigger girl and she was younger. And I knew I did not want her to get on top, so I tried to stay standing with her. But I don't work a stand-up game ever.
Okay.
So I was surprised that I stood up with her for a good 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
So that in itself was a win for me, right? I take that as a win that I didn't let her take me down. Until we got separated, I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see anything. I couldn't understand what the guy was saying, the ref. And he put us back together, and I was like, what's happening? And she took me down because I wasn't ready.
Just
right?
resetting.
Yeah.
Paro! We've all heard that.
Yeah. But I survived, so I'm proud of that last match. Yeah.
Because once a competitor can relax, to me, everything starts slowing down. And you should be able to sense and see certain things. But when you're so amped up, everything's still fast.
I do a lot of visualization, like leading up to tournament day. So like a month ahead, I'm already dreaming about it. I'm running my game in my
Yes.
mind. Like every practice, I'm doing the same thing, so I know what to expect. So I was mentally prepared for that. Yeah, it was a
That's
good day.
huge.
Yeah, I learned that early.
Okay. I learned that when I wrestled in high school. I remember just sitting in class, visualizing my takedowns and everything. And so when I'm warming up in jits, I have my headphones on, and I'm visualizing every single thing that I'm going to do.
What songs do you like to play?
I play reggae music.
Okay.
Before, and to go back to compete like you practice. When I run the gym normally, and I like hip hop and everything, but there's a lot of curse words in it. So I started playing reggae music, and it's relaxing and everything. So I just play my reggae music. And that's why I'm like, okay, you listen to reggae music when you're running training or you're working out. So I listen to that right before my matches.
That's
So it just kind of gets me in the right space.
I like that. I like ratchet music. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's whatever works. I mean, I used to have like my hype songs.
Yeah.
But now I have a couple of just reggae musical songs that I just love to just play over and over and over, and it helps me relax, and I'm good.
Okay. You got time for 2 more questions?
Yes.
Okay. One is kind of simple, but of course, I got to talk about psychology because I'm a therapist. So I'm curious if you've recognized when you train with people, if you can kind of see the psychology or their character that they might have off the mat when you roll with them.
You mean like as far as maybe being aggressive?
Whatever you notice. Like I've rolled with people and I can kind of tell, are they timid or are they soft-spoken? Are they, do they lack confidence or do they have too much confidence or are they aggressive? And would they be that way, not just in this role, but off the mat as well?
Yes, I would definitely say yes.
Okay.
I can use myself as an example. Like I'm late. Well, nah, because I'm pretty laid back. But when it comes to sports, like I'm aggressive. So that part kicks in jiu-jitsu. I know a bunch of guys that are laid back, but on the mats,
they're a different
I'd have to say
person.
they're killers out there. But I would say jiu-jitsu helps bring out the timid people too. People are timid, but then we're there to help coach them.
Yeah.
And so when the match happens, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is the funny part about me. When I go to a tournament, I'm laughing, I'm joking, I'm having fun. When I put my gi on, I feel like it's Clark Kent becoming Superman.
Oh, I can relate to that.
That's when everything clicks, and I'm not trying to talk to anybody. I'm locked in. So that's my own mental switch. For guys at the gym, I've seen some people that are still pretty timid until their skill level improves, and then they can be a little bit more aggressive.
Okay.
I've seen there were some people that are high strung, extremely aggressive out in the streets. They're more relaxed in the gym. So I've seen I would almost say more of the opposite than what you would think.
So people have told me, and there's pictures of this, I can be sweet as pie, right? I can get along with anyone. But when I'm ready to compete, there's just something that unlocks where I'm like hyper focused. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything, but just go, right? And there's a picture someone took of me in a tournament where it's like laser beams. Like they couldn't even recognize who I was because I was so intense in that moment. And I didn't know that part of myself existed until I saw that picture.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Okay. Last question for you.
So you're the opposite then. Yeah. You're pretty relaxed, and on the mats you.
Yeah. When I'm not playing in jiu-jitsu, right? But when it's time to compete, it's a different person.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You ready? Last question?
Yes.
All right. What do you want your legacy to be in jiu-jitsu?
You're throwing a hard one at me. Wow. What do I want my legacy to be? A black belt who cared about the growth of other students, for them to have met me and I've been a mentor to them in some capacity of their life. And then once I open up my own school, then I would think it's a matter of me promoting other people and having a nice little lineage.
Yeah.
Other than that, just Capital is fitting for Tony. And that's just trying to lead by example as well. Just whether it's being big bro, being uncle, or I'd even have to say Professor Byrd, but it is somebody who loved jiu-jitsu, loved pushing people and getting people into the door of jiu-jitsu. And the reason why I say that is I met a guy at Fresh Time 2 days ago. Actually, it was yesterday. Had on a jiu-jitsu shirt. He was like, man, I'm thinking about training. But it's that scared to walk through the door.
But he was wearing a jiu-jitsu shirt.
I was wearing one. He wasn't.
You were? Okay.
He was working behind the counter.
I was going to say.
No. I had the jiu-jitsu shirt on, and he was working behind the counter. Okay. And he saw my shirt and started asking questions. Where you train at? Gotcha. And I talked about how long I've been training. He's like, man, I really want to lose some weight. A bigger guy. And I don't really want somebody to, I would have to say, he didn't say it, but probably make him throw up. Like go through the gym and they're like pushing. And I was like, man, just show up. That's the first step. Yeah. I will lead you on where to go, because I don't have my gym.
Not yet.
And then just come in and start losing weight and just gain some confidence. Because his thing was like, man, I'm just a big guy. Okay. You don't have to be in shape to start jiu-jitsu. Just walk through the door. You'll get in shape, but just walk through the door. So honestly, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about that question, but hopefully I checked all the boxes. Come back to me. For sure.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I learned a lot about you and myself today. So I'm hoping that our conversation helps not just women that watch this, but even men that are in jiu-jitsu that train with women or that have sisters or wives that are thinking about training. Because like you said, one of my personal goals is to get more women into jiu-jitsu as well, because I know the power of it. So, yeah.
I would just suggest doing more seminars. Because you're already an instructor. Yeah. So I'll use your instructor certification, your purple belt, and just get out there and just get more women in. And you may have one with 10 women. All you need is one.
That's so true.
You do 20 or 30 and you may get one or two, but then that one might bring in another one and another one. And it just builds over time.
It starts small.
Yes. No, you're doing it right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.